Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. I'm doing great. There's clouds in California. It may rain. It may rain. It's probably not going to rain. But, you know, it's fun to just pretend. You know, it's fun to pretend, you know, after a certain point, you're in a drought and it's like, rain's coming. Like, how easy is it to be, little sidebar, a weatherman or woman in California? Well, today we predict no rain. Copy, you nailed it. That's awesome. Well, it's windy and blustery and, you know, hey, it's California, so 50 degrees, I feel like I'm cold. That's all right, I'm still in shorts. All right, here we go, guys. We're gonna be talking about real estate because that intro took way too long. And I'm gonna link the story below. It's entitled, it's from Market Watch. It's entitled, Foreclosures Are on the Rise. Here's what that says about the housing market. Now, guys, we have been talking about this for over a year. I've been saying that this forbearance issue is going to get bigger, but we're not there yet. Remember, in 2006, when foreclosures really started ramping up, it wasn't until you didn't get the best price. The housing market did not bottom till between 2010, 2011. Now, with that being said, there were lots of deals to be made from 2007 on. However, the housing market didn't bottom. Now, people try and catch a falling knife, and it is very hard, and there's going to be ways to make money in all different types of markets, whether you're at the high or whether you're at the low. And we're going to start doing some videos on that, but let's get into this story, and then I'll give a little bit of commentary. It says, in January, there was a 7-fold increase in foreclosure starts, new data shows. It says, compared to December, okay, it's repeating itself. In January, there's a 7-fold increase, blah, blah, blah. Compared to December, with roughly 33,000 loans referred to foreclosure. According to a report from mortgage data and analytics company Black Knight. We've talked about Black Knight before. They do a lot of specific mortgage analytics in pertaining to, you know, how many mortgages are being made, how many are being foreclosed on, so on and so forth. So what's more, data from real estate data analytics firm Atom Data Solutions revealed that lenders repossessed 2,600 U.S. properties through completed foreclosures in February of 2022. Now that is an increase of 70% from last year. So let's explain these numbers. First off, it makes sense that in January there was an explosion in foreclosures. The reason why is because the forbearance issue was held off until the end of the year, okay? So it totally makes sense. This is nothing out of the ordinary. It also makes sense that there was an increase of 70% of actual finalized foreclosures year on year from February to February of last year, because last year, again, we were sealed. Banks were not allowed to act, okay? So that totally makes sense. And again, 2,600 homes nationwide is not a big number. But I want you to understand, we are literally navigating through, and we are documenting. You're going to see what I experienced as a real estate investor as I was liquidating everything in mid-2005. You're going to be able to see what I experienced back then, but on a much greater scale, okay? And it does take patience because these things take a long time. It says, Realtor.com senior economist George Ratiu says the uptick in foreclosures during January is an early signal that many of the regulatory protections implemented during the pandemic to help Americans stay in their homes are starting to wear off. No duh. Indeed, millions of people get mortgage forbearance during the pandemic that put their mortgage payments on hold. Most of them got back on their feet and ended their forbearance in 2020 and 2021. Now it says here, the people who remained in forbearance into 2022 might be more likely to be suffering permanent financial hardships. And that is very, very real. There are a lot of people that I've talked to a few people that it's almost like they just got knocked off this logical train, this logical path that they're on. And between the stimulus money that came in and the ability to not have to pay certain mortgages, they lost their way. And it's a weird, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like this weird psychological effect that some people are going through. Not all. There are some people that are going through that are still straight and narrow. They want to work. They lost their job. They're having a hard time finding a job, specifically in their career field or making as much as they made before. I have ran into those people too. But I'm referring to some people that I've met that it just seems like they just went, off to the side. And I'm not making fun of this because this is a very serious thing, because I've went through times in my life where You know, I'm going down this path and all of a sudden you just sort of skew. Before you know it, you find yourself in a time in life and you're like, whoa, what am I doing here? How did I get here? And I have to be honest, I mean, for many human beings around the world, we all went through something that was unlike anything that we'd ever really read about. Even though we had the Spanish flu and the Depression of 1920 in our history books, it was only a paragraph long. I mean, how many people remember actually even studying that era? I mean, in depth. Probably maybe 0.1% of our world remembers that. And so my heart really goes out for those people because, and we have to have this compassion. I'm going off on this tangent, but this has to be said. We have to have a heart of compassion for these people and try and wake them up. And that's why that's my mission, right? To wake people up, to get people prepared so that they're not scared when this crash happens and they actually get pumped. Because there's only so many human beings around the world that will heed a warning like, you know, I've been telling you guys. And there's many other people like me, a warning, you know, I'm not the only one. But we want to have this heart of compassion. And if some people don't get back on track and prepare, those are the kind of people that you can identify, and we're going to do some videos about that. Good, hardworking human beings you can identify to help after this thing starts to crash. Because as you're picking up properties dirt cheap, you're going to actually have a leg up on BlackRock. I know it sounds hard to believe, but trust me, when you're buying properties at rock bottom prices and BlackRock bought them at higher prices, valuations, they're stuck. They can't just lower their rents. You're going to be able to actually get the better renters from BlackRock. You're going to be able to go, hey, you live in this awesome apartment building from BlackRock. I see they own it. I see you've been paying your rent and you have a very clean house. How'd you like to come to my apartment building or my home and it's nicer and I'll charge you less rent? And the people are gonna be like, whoa, this is amazing. And you're gonna change people's lives and you're gonna take it away from BlackRock. I'm saying that right now and I'm gonna be right, trust me. Dude, this is gonna be awesome. All right, so it says here, the foreclosure uptick also indicates that the economic and especially employment recovery is not complete. We lost 20.2 million jobs in April of 2020 alone as the government imposed wide-ranging lockdowns, and since then, the economy has added 18.8 million jobs. So we still have a deficit, all right? They can brag all they want on the news. Oh, look at all these amazing jobs coming back. Yeah, dorks, it's easy to all of a sudden make jobs when there were none yesterday and there was a bunch, you know, a year before. Okay, copy, you're taking credit for something you didn't do. Woo, that's awesome. But that's the good point, is that we are still in a point where we do not have full employment. We are having all kinds of employment issues. So with that being said, I wanted to bring you, we're documenting this. It's like a slow train wreck. They're running into each other. The housing market is going to fall because interest rates are rising. Unemployment, you know, we still have high unemployment and we still have people that really are doing some really wacky stuff with their finances. So I hope you guys got something out of this. If you did, hit the thumbs up. I love that stuff. And comment below what your plan is. That's what I love hearing your comments. What is your plan? How patient are you? Because this housing market crash is going to take some time. But as long as you see all of the indicators, that helps your patience level. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.